Hello students, I'm back with one more module and this module is on self-help group from class 10th economics, chapter money and credit. In this module, we would be covering how this new idea emerged in our country, reasons for the rise of this new idea in our country, and how does it help the poor people, especially women section. Because in our country, huge proportion of our population depends on informal sources of credit. As they cannot obtain loan from the formal sources of credit, they do depend upon informal. So they should be protected from the clutches of these informal sources of credit. That is why Government of India planned this new idea of what is called self-help group. It's a self-financing idea among the poor people in our country, and this self-help group is also being supported by the formal institutions, especially banks in our country, in the form of lending loan to these self-help group. This is a huge success story in our country, and let's talk about self-help group in details. Dear students, let me take a case study, a success story of a self-help group from Himachal Pradesh. It is a huge success in this state. A humble beginning initially. Today, they have more than 75 self-help groups. They have their own website. They have developed their entrepreneurial skills, especially women's section from this particular region. I'll give you a description about this case study and how they developed their standard of living. This is a case, as I said, a success story of women from Himachal, Pangi district, Pangwala women. It's a great success story about 75 self-help groups they created. A humble beginning after much struggle in 2016. In 2016, they started this movement, and today they have around 75 self-help groups. This is a huge success story, employing around 1,200 women. They developed their entrepreneurial skills, you can see there, and today they have wide range of products like handloom, handicrafts, tribal specialty, pure organic products. And they have also gone into the extent of having their own brand name called Pangi Hills. And this initiative actually helped women to a large extent. In the brand name called Pangi Hills, today each self-help group, each one consisting around 6 to 7 women, they earn around 2 lakh or 2.5 lakh per annum. This is their website. Very interesting one. Himalaya has produced more enlightened people than any other piece of land in the world. If you see the website they have, okay, you can go for online shopping. Okay, they want to emancipate women, and they have products like pure organic products, wild delicacies, curative herbs, handloom, or handcrafted ethnic or classical tribal facilities. So this is a huge success story which I thought to share with you, how self-help groups helps in our country to emancipate women's section and improve their standard of living. So with this case study, let's proceed with some more details about self-help group, how these groups are formed, how they have the people, especially the members only, and how they get funding from the financial institution. So dear students, let me give you a brief description about the background that actually made Indian government to go for this new idea called self-help group. Women in India constitute around 50% of our population. But what about their problems? They actually feel it very difficult to break the glass ceiling. When I say glass ceiling here means restrictions, stereotype of the society towards women, lack of freedom. So We need to support women in terms of credit because they don't have enough access to credit. We need to support them in the field of education, in the field of healthcare. Most of the women in our country do miss all these facilities. They don't have access to credit. They don't have educational facilities. And they are not trained. And they don't have healthcare facilities. So to improve women's section in all these areas and also to develop their entrepreneurial skills so that they can stand on their own feet, this idea called self-help group emerged in our country. This was a great initiative taken by National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development called NABARD, 1986-1987. So what is this self-help group all about? It is interesting to know that self-help group merely stands for a group of a few women, maybe 10 to 15, especially who are from the similar background or socio-economic status. And what is interesting in this group is that they collect money, they save money in the name of their own self-help group and they deposit money in the banks because whatever money they collect or they save can be a source of income to them and they lend to the members as and when required by the members. Apart from financially supporting, these self-help groups, they have other benefits too. Actually, it helps the women's section to improve on various aspects like education, health, family planning, access to land, or even water facility, safe drinking water to their localities. So this is what self-help group all about. It is a group of people who come together who are of this similar background. They pool their resources and thus they do not depend upon any other informal sources of credit. So they can raise funds by their own savings. Of course, remember here, these self-help groups do get support from the banks in our country. So as I said earlier, self-help group actually develop the habit of savings because members will have a regular savings. And if they have this type of regular savings in the bank, maybe for a year or two, that self-help group become eligible for obtaining loan from the formal sector. So loan is sanctioned in the name of the group, and that money can be used to disperse loan to the members. So this is self-help group all about a great initiative of NABARD, as I said earlier, and it actually developed the habit of saving, especially those people who are financially deprived in our country. And as I've taken the case study initially, a sample self-help group from Himachal, it has empowered women section. So the last important aspect I just want to stress here, dear student, is that why members of the self-help group take credit. They collect money and they take loan from their own group. And they also get the support of banks. So they need not bother about collateral. Through their self-help group, they can obtain loan from the banks. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to get loan from the formal sectors. So, for what purpose they can use this loan which they take from their group? Take an example: you already mortgage your land from for any formal sources of credit. So your land is not in your control. So you can release that land from the formal source of credit by using the loan which you obtain from your self-help group. You can arrange capital for various purposes, maybe for buying seeds or fertilizers, or you need raw materials for various products which you produce, or maybe for construction of house, or you want to buy a sewing machine, or handlooms, or cattle. So for all these purposes, you can take credit from self-help group. So it is an initiative for self-financing. So you need not depend on informal sources. Because they charge high rate of interest. And today, self-help groups are helping large number of women in our country. With this note, let me stop here and we'll be back with one more module on any topic related to your syllabus. Thank you.